Hey guys, what's up? I am Amir. I am back again with my another video. But today I have another guest on my channel which is Saksham. He comes from UTS, University of Technology Sydney in Australia. So he has studied at one of the most innovative universities within Australia. So let's welcome him today and talk about his experience of studying at UTS. Saksham, hi. Welcome to my channel.
Hi Amir, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good.
Great. If I'm not wrong, studying in Australia was never an option for you. I knew that you wanted to go for US or Canada, but then how you ended up studying in Australia then?
Yeah, to be very honest, US was my first choice as my friends and my family friends always advised me to go to US because of the education system and the quality of education. But after spending 1 year through with my entire application process, it was delaying my application process, and some of the experts advised me that since I've not done 16 years of education, so I'm not eligible for US education, and even my GMAT score was not that good enough, and US universities were requiring very high GMAT score. So I think that was the main reason why I decided to go for any other countries. So I started exploring options for Australia and United Kingdoms, and then one of my friend told me to go for Australia, and then I started doing research on Australian universities, and then I found it like 2 3 good Australian universities, and when I looked at their curriculum, I found that they are as good as universities in the United States. So I decided to go with the Australian universities. So
Perfect.
that's
So somebody who's, let's say, not very academically strong, you think Australia would be a better option because they would welcome such students.
yeah, because if you talk about Australian universities, they don't like evaluate you on the basis of your
Profile, overall profile.
overall profile. They,
Right.
they they look more on your academics,
Perfect.
and I think if you talk about the US universities, they look at everything like your GMAT score and your profiles and all that thing. But in Australia, they were more about like your academics.
Academics.
So yeah, that worked for me.
Perfect. So, could you take us through your overall profile as a candidate when you were applying for studying in Australia?
I opted for commerce in my schooling. Then after finishing my schooling, I did my bachelor's in business administration, specialized in banking from Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University. And during my bachelor's, I worked with Royal Bank of Scotland in finance division. So that was the time when I discovered my interest. So after finishing my bachelor's, I worked with Dalmia Group. So over there, I was associate finance. Yeah, so during my work, I decided to pursue my higher studies in finance, and then I ultimately decided to move to Sydney to do my MBA majors in finance.
So from the very start, if I could see that you had inclination towards finance, right? So you
Yeah.
knew it from the very beginning that you want to build your career in finance, or you developed interest while you were on this journey.
Although at the start there was influence from my parents as well because they were from the same background, but as I started moving towards that path, I started developing interest in that area.
Okay, great. How is your day looks like when you start your college?
Generally, I wake up early morning around 7 o'clock, and after freshing up, I try to go to gym with my friends. So I start my gym around 7:30 to 8 o'clock, and I finish my gym around 8 o'clock,
Okay.
and then I try to go uh, out with my friends for the breakfast, and we generally do our breakfast near the Darling Harbour. It's very beautiful.
Darling Harbour.
Yeah,
The name is such interesting name.
yeah, it's very beautiful place in Sydney, and it's a good tourist attraction. So
Okay.
yeah, it's just near our residence. So yeah, so I prefer to do breakfast over there because there are many good restaurants over there.
Okay.
Yeah, so after doing my breakfast, I go to my residence, which is very near to Darling Harbour, and then I prepare for my lectures because generally it starts at 11 o'clock, and it lasts till 4 o'clock. So yeah, after my lectures, I have to go for my work. So I'm working in Domino's as a store manager. So my shift starts at 4 o'clock in the evening and it ends around 8 or 9 sometimes. Yeah. So after that, I come to my home and prepare my dinner. And by the way, I'm living with 6 people. So we do our dinner together.
Wow.
Yeah, like 6 people are from 6 different countries, so it's really fun. So yeah, after that we just study. I just study and for my lectures and then go to
You
bed.
go to the bed.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you're able to manage your studies along with your part-time job opportunity that Australia boasts about, because I believe you're allowed to work 20 hours per week when you are a student, and once you have summer vacations or the vacations, you can work full time as well. If I'm not wrong, right? That's.
Yeah. So during your uni, when your university is going on, you can work 20 hours per week. And when you are on vacations, you can work full time. That's 40 hours.
Perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, I generally work around 14 to 15 hours a week.
And I've heard that Australia has this rule, a compulsion, which is $18 per hour that they get as the minimum wage, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So you get
That's true.
higher than that, right?
Yeah, so I'm working as a store manager, so I get $21 per hour. Yeah.
Right. So for about 20 hours, it's about $400.
Yeah, roughly like.
roughly around that.
Yeah.
And if you work for about 14 to 15 hours, you can actually make about $320, right?
Yeah,
If
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
wrong.
That's true.
Right, that would typically take care of the living expenses, but then you cannot completely rely on it as well.
Yeah, it's. I mean, till your uni life is going on, it's really. I mean, it's very helpful, like because you can manage your living, your accommodation, your traveling, all of these things.
All of these things. So
Yeah, with your.
the overhead expenses you can
Yeah,
manage
all
with.
the overhead expenses you can manage with that
Okay.
job.
How was your experience of studying at UTS?
So studying at UTS was a great experience. It helped me in changing my perspective. If I compare my bachelor's degree and if I compare my master's degree, I can feel the difference in my overall personality. It has been completely changed and improved. So the curriculum of UTS is designed by people who are really working in the industry. So even the lectures and seminars are conducted by people who are in the corporate sector. So they frame the assignments and presentation in a manner that really helpful for students because at the end they have to
Be out there.
be out
in the
there
market.
in the market and show their skills, and it's really good.
Before we say bye to our audience, there are two more questions that I would like to ask you. The very first is one thing that you would like to carry from here to Australia. What would that be?
So in India, like I used to play street cricket, and I really like that. But I think it's not possible in Sydney to do that. Like you have to join professional organizations, and with them you can play, but you can't play street cricket over there. So I
Okay.
really miss that.
Wow, that's great. And the last question, and which is the most important question, what is one advice that you would like to give to somebody who's studying in grade 9 or 10 or even the 12th grade?
I like to advise students to follow their passion and do what they really want to do. There are many ways, like they should really explore their interests. So what I did, I did plenty of internships during my undergrad
Undergraduation.
and during my graduation. Even I worked for many social organizations to explore more of my interests. So I think they should even talk to their parents and get a proper advice and show their interest, like what they really want to do, so that they can support them. And if you really want to pursue your higher education from Australia, I think it's really a good option. Australia is not that much rigid with the your study requirements. If you are good with 12 marks, then you can easily get admission into good Australian universities. Yeah.
Great. So guys, that's all for today's video. This was Saksham sharing his experience of studying at UTS. I'm sure you must have learned some valuable tips from him. For the next video, I would like to tell you that we will be coming up the next video in Hindi as my viewers have requested. So till then, if you like this video, please make sure you give us a big thumbs up because that motivates me to work towards it more and more. And we have next video coming up on next Thursday. Adios, my League of Global Winners.